welcome to Mekkadookie.
Yeah, so this game stinks. Mecha spelled with two Ks, Quarry Assault is an independent, solo-developed, first-person shooter released on January 20th, 2025 for PC via Steam. I was originally introduced to this game via PC Gamer's PC Gaming Show Most Wanted 2024. A quick 43-second trailer had me thinking, this looks
Good.
pretty cool.
Mighty
I'll
good.
wishlist it. 2024 me was such a fool. The majority of this game was developed using AI software. The graphics, music, and according to PC Gamer, even the voice acting was all generated via AI. But let's leave this elephant for the end of the ride. The story, according to the Steam page, is in the near future of 2082, our protagonist Bill owns a mining claim for Fluxium 7. Torx Corp wants Bill's mining claim, so they steal his shitty little toys and kidnap his girlfriend. Naturally, Bill wants to get his hit back, so with his trusty mech and his friend Rusty, the revenge and rescue quest starts. That's nice and all, but why isn't any of this presented in-game? I'm well aware that DOS-era FPS games weren't lore dumping you, but they still gave you something in-game. A single paragraph like Doom, a description of the episode you're playing like Wolfenstein 3D, a FMV cinematic like Blood, objective updates like Quake 2. I don't know, maybe it's me, but until I read every single pixel on the store page for this game, I had no idea what I was doing. I still don't know what a Fluxium 7 even is. The beginning of each stage has Rusty exposition the level, and Bill responds, sometimes. And that's all you get. Both Bill and Rusty don't have a personality either. Rusty's existence boils down to exposition and telling Bill he smells like shit. Meanwhile, Bill banters, and I use that term very loosely, by being sarcastic or telling Rusty to shut up. Again, according to the Steam page, Bill is apparently a former trucker turned robo jockey who's no nonsense. Coulda fooled me, because nothing he says in game hints at either. Not even a single pun or joke. I suppose him saying,
I have you now,
whenever you pick up a new weapon expresses that. I guess. And how does Rusty know the layout of Torx Corp's quarry? Does he work there? Is he spying on them? Whatever, I'm already tired of reviewing this game. 15 levels, no secret levels, thank God, which translates into roughly 5 through 8 hours, meaning this game is on par with the average length of other titles in the genre. Usually, this would be a good thing, but in Mekkadooke's case, you realize fairly quickly that even 5 hours is way too much. Nothing in this game feels good. I want to say shooting feels like shit so badly, but at least when you go take a shit, you feel relief. Shitting legitimately feels better than playing this exercise in frustration. And speaking of exercises in frustration, there's no difficulty options or saving. The game uses a checkpoint system, and when you die, which will happen quite a bit, every single enemy on the map, regardless if you kill them or not before or after reaching a checkpoint, will respawn. When you die, every enemy in the level respawns. Yep. Anyway, there are 6 base weapons in the game. The quintessential melee weapon, a shotgun, a Kimbo whatever the fuck this is, a Kimbo assault rifles, rocket grenade launcher, and I'm assuming a plasma rifle. The melee weapon, which are dual saw blades, is the only weapon in the game that has an alt fire. That alt fire being a forward dash. Normally, this would be pretty cool, but unfortunately the hitboxes in this game are abysmal to the point where I struggle breaking stationary supply boxes with this thing. These saws are only useful for the one time you need them to avoid an instant death hazard. The shotgun? Jesus Christ, the shotgun. Nah, hold up. Okay. Then why is the distance so abysmal in this game? When I first loaded the game and used this weapon, I thought I was doing something wrong. I even looked at the how to play screen. But no, the shotgun in this game is just that bad. You have to be up these robots' exhaust port to hit them using this thing. Why? And on top of that, no matter how close you are, this thing doesn't seem capable of one-shotting anything. What is the point? I'm not sure what to say about the next gun. Fuck are these bullets? Marbles? Nickelodeon slime balls? Vector Man gore? What is this thing? Luckily, it isn't as bad as the shotgun. Essentially, it functions like an assault rifle, which brings us to weapon 3, the assault rifle. There's nothing to say here. It's an assault rifle. It shoots lead fast. I am a bit confused though. We have 2 guns that essentially operate the same exact way. This is so damn redundant. Besides using different ammo and having a different sound effect, I don't see any difference. One is hit scanning and one isn't? I guess? I think the pellet gun kills a robot a second or 2 faster? Or maybe I'm Jedi mind tricking myself to believing that. I really don't know. Rocket grenade launcher is next, and this legit is one of the worst rocket launchers I've ever had the displeasure of using. Just listen. What? Why does it sound like that? Why does it sound like when your mom in the slice of life anime takes the futon outside to dust it? Why does it sound like someone punching a pillow? Why does it sound like when a car lets out one of those automobile farts? In what world does a rocket launcher sound like this? Furthermore, I don't believe any gun in the game can hit more than one enemy at a time either. So, crowd control that this weapon is normally used for? Not happening. And finally, the plasma gun. I think this is the strongest weapon in the game. It should be the strongest weapon in the game. But damage output is so abysmal that your guess is as good as mine. Everything takes so long to kill in this slop. If you were to tell me the upgraded version of these weapons were cosmetic only, I'd believe you. Do they kill things faster?
I don't know!
The second shotgun is so similar in design that I legit forgot which was which. The upgraded marble gun is yellow, the second assault rifle is bluish with a scope, the rocket launcher now has a coil spring condom wrapped around it and a sight attachment, and the plasma gun now looks like a Gatling gun. None of the upgraded weapons consume more ammo than their first iteration, and as I said earlier, everything takes so long to kill that it's anybody's guess if any of these upgrades are worth shit. Yeesh. There are two gameplay bugs that I've noticed. The first being, if you tap left click instead of holding it while using a fully automatic gun, it won't fire. The second being that apparently item pickups are solid objects, like walls. What I mean is, if you stand in front of an item, an enemy behind it, and you try to shoot them, they won't take any damage. These aren't game breaking or anything, but I did notice them. Take it as you will. There are a decent amount of enemy types here for a 5-hour FPS campaign, but ultimately, they all only have two functions, so stratagem doesn't change. Those two functions are stand in place and shoot headaches at you, or run into your grill like they're playing man coverage defense. About 90% of the nuisances you battle will do function dos. Anyway, humanoid dickhead A will do functions 1 and 2. Humanoid dickhead B will do functions 1 and 2. Silver mailbox will do function 1. Yellow mailbox will do function 2, then function 1. RC planes A and B will opt for functions 1 and 2. Bootleg cyber demon will do functions 1 and 2. Mini bootleg cyber demon will only do function 2. I actually have no idea if this little ugly light bulb with legs does any damage. He kinda just headbutts your ankles and acts like an obstruction. And finally, floor and ceiling turret are capable of function 1 only. You'll spend the majority of the time running backwards as these unfortunate robots slide towards you with various speeds. But wait! There are boss fights, and just as you guessed, they also do functions 1 and 2. But this time, they are super bullet sponges. The joy. Movement in this game is also torture, by the way. There's a funny bit of conflicting ideas here. There's a thread created by the developer stating that the game is fast-paced. However, on the game's store page, the description says the movement is sluggish. Movement is indeed sluggish. Whenever you strafe left or right, Bill's mech will entirely tip over in that direction, like it's drunk. And the dash or dodge mechanic is way too fast or something, because you'll completely lose sight of everything when executing this maneuver. Finally, you have a turbo meter, because we all know boomer shooters were known for their stamina systems and management. Bill's mech has a pitiful gas tank because you can only turbo for 4 to 5 seconds at a time when running in a straight line. Strafing depletes it faster. Secrets in this game, which if I was forced to compare it to something are similar to Wolf 3D and Doom, offer you the nice reward of adding more ugly junk to the UI. Starting from level 2, there are instant death traps to make you want to tear your hair out harder if you wasn't already. Acid, lava, lasers, stuff like that. Well, playing the game is as fun as waiting in a doctor's office. Does it at least sound nice or look nice? Of course it doesn't. The main gimmick of this game is its UI, which is supposed to give the illusion of being in a cockpit. Ignoring how much of a filthy slob Bill is, I know it smells like death incarnate in there. The UI itself sucks. It only looks good in still images. The gimmick obstructs so much of the screen that I had a very hard time properly seeing the instant death traps in later levels. Furthermore, none of the visual clutter in this cockpit tells you if you're carrying a key or not, or which key you're holding for that matter. But hey, you get to watch uneaten fries slosh about in a mountain of gooner tissues for 5 hours. Just what I asked for. The textures making up the environment repeat infinitely. Everything is some sort of bluish silver, white, yellow, or green. Nothing about this says 16-bit. I feel like I'm in some special circle of hell, doomed to traverse long hallways with giant empty rooms filled with awful robots doing awkward, herky-jerky, left, right movements in place and sliding at Mach 3 speed at me. Best believe there are visual glitches too. I just love pillars you can clip through. And what's up with this scaling? The walls are humongously tall and the enemies seem puny in comparison to yourself. Are we toys? Is Bill's mech Ultraman size? But hey, the developer stated it is what it is, essentially in a forum post, so I guess that's that. Sound effects are inconsistent, from overtly loud to limp dick dull. And the music that will keep your ears company through this torture device? Forgettable. 6-beat tracks that loop, and nothing transitions nicely either. Whenever you die, whatever sound effect you were last triggering will repeat until the game decides to cut everything off. Enemies make this weird moan sound whenever you hit them. But of course, make absolutely no sound when they're moving, so have fun figuring out what is coming from where. The UI has rear view mirrors, but they're not placed well, so good luck trying to accurately use that to see what's behind you. And finally, this brings us to the biggest controversy of all. Artificial intelligence. I want to preface here a little bit, so bear with me, citizens. Game dev is a lot of hard work. There is no easy button. It demands time, effort, money, and dedication. Furthermore, I don't want to turn the phrase solo or single dev into a meme. The fact that people can make games without having to join some giant company is a marvelous thing that opens up opportunities for everyone. It's one of the main reasons why I think the current era of gaming is great. AI is and has been used to assist, keyword assist, in many things. Roguelikes, endlights, randomization, behavior patterns, blah, blah, blah. Let's not purposely be obtuse here. There are two problems with the utilage of AI in this game. The unethical nature of stolen art and the complete reliance of it. Using works from others without their permission and mashing it together to make a Frankenstein potato. Letting generative AI do practically everything with little to no human elbow grease. I don't want to commence a roundtable discussions on legal term definitions. What is or isn't theft, fair use, and blah, 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 blah. I want to clearly state what side of the fence I stand on, my logic and reasoning, and that stance is, I don't agree with a practice like that at all. This game was made using AI in that manner. Damn near all of it. The graphics, the music, the sound effects, and according to this PC Gamer article, even the voice acting was AI. The developer states they did not use specific artist names for generating the pixel art, and instead used general terms. Huh? What difference does that make? Is that still not some form of theft? Just because you don't know the name of the artist that DALL-E 3 used to take from doesn't make it any less unethical. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the only way this wouldn't be theft is if you specifically fed the program your own art and told it to make whatever based off of that. The music Suno generated is not only pitifully short, but so forgettable that it barely passes as serviceable background noise. The animations in this game are awkward because the enemies alternate between 2 frames in place and slide around. They look like cutouts instead of vicious security bots that they're supposed to be. And that final cutscene?
Well, took you long enough.
Yeah, happy to see you too, Beth.
Thought you leave me here to rot? Guess you love me after all.
Yep, sure. That's why I came.
There is no way I did all this to save Roseanne. Ain't no damn way. Turn this shit off. To sum this up, Mecha Blood Quarry Assault is a cool idea and terrible execution that isn't worth the dirt under your toenail. It plays bad, sounds bad, looks bad, and isn't fun to engage with. I'll take responsibility on my part for not doing research past a sub 1 minute trailer before purchasing. If I knew this game was using AI in this fashion, I wouldn't have bought it to begin with, but here we are. Does the Emperor recommend this game?
Fuck no, baby!